What's up, everybody? Hey, today I want to talk about how to handle pressure. Believe it or not, pressure is a good sign. It's not a bad sign. Pressure often means that you're going the right way. Doesn't mean you're going the wrong way. It's a sign of progress, not weakness. And how you handle pressure is a key skill in life. Proverbs 24:10 says, if you fail under pressure, your strength is too small. And there are things that you can do in life to build your strength. It's often found in action, not inaction. For example, if you want to build muscle, you have to lift weights. You can't think about lifting weights. You need to do it. You need to cause enough stress and lift heavy enough that the muscles actually tear and then they build back bigger and stronger. You have to do something that's hard in order to get stronger in life. So how can you handle pressure? I love what Jesus says in Matthew 10:16. He says, stay alert. This is hazardous work I'm assigning to you. Jesus didn't say I'm calling you to a comfortable life. He said, this is dangerous. You're going to be like sheep running through a wolf pack. So don't call attention to yourselves, but be as shrewd as a snake and inoffensive as a dove. Jesus is saying this is dangerous. There's a target on your back, but now you have meaning in your life. The number one way to get good at pressure or to handle pressure is to reframe it. Reframe it to pressure is a good thing. It's not a bad sign. If you're going to handle it right, it starts right here in between your ears. Almost everything in life comes down to a mental battle, that there is a battle for your mind and you need to win it. So let's understand it. What is stress? We tend to just lump everything bad that comes at you. We say, well, it's uncomfortable, so this is stressful. But that's a broad definition. So let's define stress this way. Stress is what arises when something that you care about is at stake. See, stress and meaning are closely linked. You don't stress about things that you don't care about, and you can't create a meaningful life without experiencing some stress. That's why you stress out about your kids. You stress out about your job, your marriage, your body, your purpose. But it's better to chase meaning than try to avoid all discomfort. See, stress and meaning go hand in hand. So let's look at Jesus' life and how he handled stress, his high stress moment. Luke 22, verse 39, this is the night before Jesus is crucified. He knows what's coming. He's anxious about it. He's a little concerned about it. It says, then accompanied by the disciples, Jesus left the upstairs room and went as usual to the Mount of Olives. There he told them, pray that you will not give in to temptation. And he walked away about a stone's throw away, and he knelt down and he prayed, Father, if you are willing, please take this cup of suffering away from me. Yet I want your will to be done, not mine. And then an angel from heaven appeared and strengthened him, and he prayed more fervently. And he was in such agony of spirit that his sweat fell to the ground like great drops of blood. And at last he stood up again and returned to the disciples only to find them asleep, exhausted from grief. Why are you sleeping? He asked them. Get up and pray so that you will not give in to temptation. So Jesus here is so stressed out that he starts to sweat blood. Even in my most anxious moments of my entire life, I've never been so stressed out that I sweated blood. Like, that's extreme, but we know this is actually a medical condition called hematidrosis. And this only occurs in people that are in a highly emotional, stressful state. Can I say it like this? I don't think Jesus was looking forward to the cross. Would you? I wouldn't. At the same time, you never see Jesus experience pressure and then run away from it. You always see him walk towards it. You never see Jesus have a hard day and like, man, I need a drink. Can someone pour me a drink? You never see Jesus do that. You never see him say, man, this is too hard, Father. Can you use somebody else? Can you send your other son? No, he's like, I'm the only son. See, every time he has pressure, he embraces it and he takes it on. Why? Because there is meaning there. He never experiences strong pressure where there's not a lot of meaning there. Hebrews 12:2 says this on the back end of it. It says, Jesus, who for the joy that was set before him, endured the cross. You know, Jesus kept going because he loves you. And it was the only way to bring us in relationship with him. Stress and meaning go hand in hand. It turns out that a stressful life is also a meaningful life. When I look back at my life, I think about the butterfly moments. What do I mean by that? I mean the moments that gave me butterflies in my stomach. Playoff games, when I was in school sports, performing in theater plays, making decisions about my college years, proposing to my wife, getting married, writing and releasing books, starting something new and wondering what the response would be, or speaking to crowds of people, or starting this church, or buying the house we live in. Like, these are the moments that we remember. We don't remember the easy moments of relaxation, but we got to chase the butterflies in our life. You know, at the end of our lives, we're not going to recall all the moments of relaxation or the mundane. We're going to be talking about these butterfly moments that we have. So the solution is choosing to see the connection between stress and meaning. This can free you from the nagging sense that there's something wrong with your life, or that you're inadequate to the challenges that you face. And when you take this view, life doesn't become less stressful, but it can become more meaningful. It's time to start embracing stress, not avoiding it, let alone medicating it. Number 2, how to handle pressure. Believe in the face of unbelief. Matthew 10, 17 through 23, Jesus tells his disciples he's sending them out to people. And they don't know what the response is going to be, whether people are going to like them or not like them. They're going to encounter hostile people or people that are rooting for them. But Jesus squares up and he looks at them. He says, don't be naive. Some people will question your motives. Others will smear your reputation just because you believe in me. But don't be upset when they haul you before the civil authorities, because without knowing it, they've done you and me a favor. They've given you a platform for preaching the kingdom news. And don't worry about what you'll say or how you'll say it. The right words will be there. The Spirit of your Father will supply the words. When people realize it is the living God you are presenting and not some idol that makes them feel good, they're going to turn on you. Even people in your own family. There is a great irony here, proclaiming so much love, experiencing so much hate. Jesus says this, but don't quit. Don't cave in. It is all well worth it in the end. It is not success you are after in such times, but survival. Be survivors. Before you run out of options, the Son of Man will have arrived. In verse 28, he says, don't be bluffed into silence by the threats of bullies. There's nothing they can do to your soul, your core being, but save your fear for God, who holds your entire life, body and soul, in his hands. In other words, fear God, not man. Fear what God thinks about you, not what other people think about you. You know, you don't need others to believe. You got to believe. Remember when we stepped out to plant this church about a year and a half ago, whenever we left where we were serving, we had to start getting things ready to launch this church. We experienced belief. We experienced unbelief. Not just inside, but from the outside. You know, we thought maybe there was going to be some core people, or really a few people like, oh, for sure. Like, they're going to come, they're going to support us. But they didn't believe like we believed. They didn't see what we saw. But then we had other people that we didn't know at the time, or just met, or hadn't seen for a while. But man, they heard and they believed. But at the same point, what do we as humans normally do? We pay too much attention to people that don't believe, people that aren't rooting for us, people that we thought were going to be there and didn't show up for us. And we had to come to a point where it doesn't matter what other people believe. I had to ask myself, do I believe? Do you believe? You know, no one else is supposed to understand your calling. It wasn't a conference call. Your closest friends, your parents, your coworkers, they don't have to buy into your dream. If they do, then count it as a blessing. But if they don't see it as a curse. Only you need to believe. Don't be so unbelieving that you need other people to believe on your behalf. You know, God made you at the right time, in the right place, to do the right things, to achieve the purpose that he has for you. So believe in the face of unbelief. And number 3, how to handle pressure. Stand up for God, and he'll stand up for you. Matthew 10:32, Jesus is giving his instructions to his disciples. He says, stand up for me against world opinion, and I will stand up for you before my Father in heaven. But if you turn tail and run, do you think I'll cover for you? Stand up for Jesus, and he'll stand up for you. That's the condition. You know, life is tough. But if you want God on your side, then you have to be on his side. God doesn't just say, oh, I'm going to be on your side. He's like, no, be on my side, and then I'll be on your side. Scripture says in James 4:8 that if you draw near to God, then he draws near to you. I'd say, Brandon, these steps on how to handle pressure, these steps don't contain any biohacking or supplements or a morning routine. Like, I need something more. You know, that's right. Do I believe in all of that? Absolutely. And I did some of those this morning. But you have to act in life. Action always takes precedence over thinking and getting into the perfect space or mood or spiritual spot in your life. All of that changes, but you can always act. You want to be able to handle pressure? 1, reframe it. Pressure is a good thing. It's not a bad sign. 2, believe in the face of unbelief. You're not just going to wake up confident one day. You have to stack up evidence, and then the confidence will come. And 3, stand up for God, and he'll stand up for you. You know, life is hard enough to do it without God. You are never supposed to do life without God. So stand up for him, and he will come to your defense. In your weakness, he is strong. So don't sit, wilt, or retreat, but stand up. Throw your shoulders back and attack the opposition. Get that dog in you and move forward. You got the goods. I believe in you. And even more importantly, God believes in you. Now it's your turn. Go believe in yourself. Stand up, get moving, run towards the pressure, not away from it. We'll see you next time.